I'm Courtney.
I'm AJ.
This is the Saw Pod.
Welcome back to the Saw Pod. Thank you guys for bearing with us last week. It was quite eventful for us. Quite eventful. We've sick kids. It's been a month. It's been a fucking month. Lots of shit going on, and it's the beginning of May, and we have a lot of shit coming up this month too. A lot, but at the same time, there's a lot of shit to talk about too.
Yeah.
So thanks for bearing with us this week, or last week. But we promise this will be a good episode. This will make up for it. Well, a lot of cool shit to talk about. A lot of things to recap. A lot, we want to give you our thoughts on a lot of things, and we'd love to hear your guys' comments your guys' thoughts in the comments as well.
I'm gonna be yawning a lot because I'm exhausted and I'm sick.
We're going through it. We tried shooting last week. Baby was not having it.
She was sick.
Yeah. Sounds like baby's not having it right now either. So you'll just have to bear with us. But anyways, let's start with our high and low. What's your high? I'd love to hear your high.
My high is probably landing Pokemon cards and getting my Charizard.
That's your high every week. I will say that's a really good. The Charizard.
I pulled a Charizard.
Yes.
So.
From the 151 packs.
Yeah, and now it was my first 151 pack, and I pulled a Charizard. So now I love that series, but it's a big series, so I kind of don't want to open anymore.
I know,
I would like the Blastoise though.
The Blastoise card is really nice.
Yeah, I really like that card.
I like the 151, but we're so balls deep into Prismatic
and
right now. Journey Together.
And Searching Sparks.
Yeah, but
Paladin Fates.
But the real, all Pokemon's pretty hard to come by, but especially the Prismatic. And since we're so
have a completed collection,
yeah,
we're very close.
Since we're so invested into that set, I would rather be in there. I'd rather be into that set versus the 151, which is just as hard to come by. So that's why, after you pulled that Charizard, I was like, all right, we're done.
What was your high for the week?
My high
for the last 2 weeks.
My high is Pokemon related again, or just like you, but a little bit different. In the midst of while we were trying to collect some Pokemon, we came across a few other people, specifically 2 guys, Brady and Z. They're my Poke boyfriends, and they're cool as hell. They're just as, they love collecting just as much as us, and
they're really cool people.
And they're really, really cool guys that we befriended and we shoot the shit with, and
shout out Notre Dame.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no, you and Brady can kick rocks on that one. But Brady, Z, I love you guys. If you're watching, we've been having a ball with you guys, and
it has been fun.
We can't wait to keep collecting with you guys. You guys are really cool.
The Poke Avengers.
The Poke Avengers.
But apparently, I'm Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
I do like her though.
What's your low?
You should do your low first.
Mine?
Yeah, because mine kind of goes into yours, but also different.
Mine, I'd have to say 2 lows. It's just, aside from this chaotic month, which has just been very stressful, and trying to manage a million things that were, we have girls' birthdays and girls being sick, but also we have a garage sale coming, and then trying to start up our other business, and then while working too on top of it and training, it's just, there's a lot of shit going on. But my other thing, last week,
she's sad about it.
Yeah,
too.
she's sad about it too.
Are you sad about JT?
Yeah, Jordan Travis is officially retired from football. We're
big Jordan Travis fans.
Yeah, I'm a Florida State fan, and I've watched the very first snap of Jordan Travis's career at Florida State to, unfortunately, his last snap. I watched all his entire career at Florida State, and from the highs and then to the lows, of course, is last day playing, and it was a hell of a ride. And the unfortunate thing is we will never get to see any more of him playing football, which is just an absolute tragedy because he isn't healing and he isn't recovering the way he needs to, and it sucks. And I was really hoping we were going to see him play again. And Jordan
sad.
Travis, we love you, dude.
Shout out.
Shout out
JT.
shout out JT13. But
Retire the jersey.
yeah, unretire Deion Sanders jersey.
Yeah, unretired Deion. He don't deserve it.
I mean, if he says he's not at Florida State, if he's not an alum, then why would
He
we
doesn't
retire?
deserve it.
It's what he said.
She's out.
Yeah, she is out.
It's a really bad time for her to take a nap.
Oh, what do we do?
Quick episode.
Okay. All right. What's your low?
My low is that because I really do like him. But probably the girls being sick.
It's been hard.
Because you were sick and I was taking care of him. And then Liv got sick and I was taking care of her. And then Coraline got sick.
Yeah.
And I was taking care of her. And then Liv won't take her antibiotics, so she got sick again. And now I'm sick.
It's just hard it's hard to do anything.
I feel like it's specifically hard for me as like a mom at night because like I have to feed her, and who do they want when they're sick? They want their mom, and then I'm having to I literally have been sleeping like this at night. Both girls up here because I have to sit up because they're so snotty.
It's just it's hard to do anything and I'll wake up and when you're at this stage of parenthood, I feel like it gets hard to really have a train of thought of something. It's hard to have a conversation and be locked in with it because your mind is just so. Again, this poem at these type of moments, I found, it's so hard to really lock in. It is. It's hard to lock in.
I wouldn't say lock in.
No, it is. It is. It truly is. I love the train in the morning. I love to go to work, and then I love to I'm very OCD about everything.
You're
and then
very schedule oriented.
You're right, and because for people like me, when shit hits the fan like this, as a parent, it's just so hard to fucking function.
I feel like
it's so tough, and I haven't really Oblivion came out. Oblivion. I've only got to play a few nights, and first of all, Oblivion it's a remake.
That's our game of the.
It's no.
Oh, that's not our game.
No. It's Oblivion remake. It's a remake, not remaster. I don't care what anyone says. It's a great game. I love it. It's fantastic. But the thing is, it's I'm at the stage of my life right now where it's I can only do so much, and I either A, I won't have any time, or B, if I do have time, I'm so cooked.
So tired, yeah.
It's hard for us to really function as parents, and you want to, and then we have movies we want to go see, which we're going to go see Thunderbolts, which we're going to go do for sure. And
the new Avengers.
Yes.
I don't like that, but
I like it.
I don't.
Because it follows in the comics, so I don't mind
it.
I don't think for you don't understand it because you don't understand. Never read the comics like that.
I'm not reading the comics. I don't know.
So I'm cool with it. Other people, they don't understand. Just casual audience, they won't understand it, and they don't get it.
Casual audience when it comes to Thunderbolts.
Yes, but
not my cup of tea.
It's just tough to really do anything. It's tough to function, and
I guess because my ADHD, I'm used to my brain is always everywhere. I never have a schedule. I'm always very last minute.
I just can't function like that.
I know it's something we talked about when we first started dating.
Yeah, and it's
very different.
I can't do it, and it's a pet peeve to be
it's
for me to be expected of me to do it. It's a huge pet peeve. I can't do it.
I feel like it's easier for me because I get so anxious with lead up to anything because of my ADHD and stuff. So it's
I mean, eating regimen, meal 1 through 5 or 6. Like I got it. That shit's regimen, and then like my days are regimen, and like it's just how it's how I was, born and bred,
I
and
eat and I
you
eat
know, and
and do things and I do things,
train
sleep and I
and
sleep.
train in the morning, eat meal 1 through 6, work, and then it's just like that's how I model my days based off that, and then like then you have babies and boom, like motherfucker, it's tough.
I'm like that no more.
Yeah, it's
For
just
sure.
I'm like really really struggling with it, but yeah, I could say that's probably
That's my low. Oh, my other high is Coraline's birthday party.
it was fantastic.
It
It
was
was
very
great.
fun.
Great first birthday. She was fat and happy.
She was fat. She was walking around with a piece of
Pizza
pizza,
and cake. And
cake. I dressed up as Miss Rachel. She dressed up as Miss Rachel. She had a great time.
she had a great time. Everyone who showed up, thank you very much. We love you guys.
Yeah.
You guys made Coraline's birthday wonderful. Our parents kicked ass. Your Jake and Britt, your
Jake and
brother,
Britt,
they did
yeah,
great.
they did so good. Brittany always does so good with our kids'
She was
birthdays
great.
and holidays.
She's so good with her kids too.
I know.
She's a fantastic aunt.
Shout out to best auntie,
Shout out to Aunt Britt.
Aunt Brie.
We love you, Aunt Britt.
Get ready for the berserk chapter you're reading.
Yeah. So Brittany is reading Berserk right now, and I got her. Well, it's funny. I didn't purposely get her into it. She just kind of started doing it because it was.
We were trying to get Jake into it.
Yeah, it was.
We were worried it might be a little too.
It was an agreement between me and
much.
Jake. I was going to get into One Piece, and he was going to start reading Berserk. And neither of us have started yet. And to be fair, we had a conversation about it. We're both busy, but oddly enough, Brittany is reading all of my Berserk books, and it's great. And like.
That's
But
fun.
book 4, if you've read Berserk and you know Berserk, book 4, like in the deluxe, is like iconic. It's like known. And my cousin Nathan literally bought book 4. He doesn't have any other books. He got book 4 for Christmas one year for a specific reason, because it is the event, the nexus moment of Berserk where that thing happens, and
where you either love or hate.
I'm just going to say the eclipse. Well, don't even say that, because then
No,
like,
I've been saying that.
something.
I've been saying that to her. You're either gonna love or hate Griffith.
I'm just going to say the eclipse. And the eclipse happens in book 4. And once that happens, it's like shit. It's really the moment that, Berserk becomes Berserk. And that's it. That is that moment. And like Brittany has been like, every time she gets another book down, I'm like, where are you at? Oh, I'm book 2. Okay. Oh, I'm book 3. Oh, okay. And then she's like,
just starting.
I started book 4, and I'm like, oh no. And so she's reading book 4, and
we're excited to see her take.
Yeah, when I recommend people to Berserk, it's after this moment when I'm like, when the people I recommend this book to or this franchise to, and they get past this point, I think to myself, they're either gonna really, think I'm into some cool shit, or they're gonna think I'm really fucked up for getting into the shit.
When we first met,
it was very different with you.
I surprised him with a deluxe version.
Yeah, I fell in love instantly.
That was like the first time I met him, and I brought him a book.
Yeah.
And
fell for her instantly.
And I was reading it at work, and he's like, "Did you get to that part yet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Well, what do you think?" I'm like, "I just love Griffith."
And it was like the complete opposite of what I was expecting, because it was one of those two things. I thought, I was like, okay, she's either gonna never talk to me and break up with me, or she's gonna be like really into it. But I forgot there was a third option, and it was, I fucking love Griffith. And I'm like, what? you what? And I'm just kind of like sitting here like, like what's that one meme where that woman's like looking off into space and there's like geometry symbol?
Yeah.
Like I'm like that, like what? I couldn't configure what the hell just happened. It was I was not what I was expecting. So, but yeah, there are people out there who are very rare, and they say that Griffith did no wrong, and they are very wrong. So you really fucked up. But
He
anyways,
married me.
all right. On to some other news. Since it's May, it is May the 6th. Revenge of the 6th. By the way, we hope he had a great May the 4th. By the
I
way,
pushed Coraline out on
Yeah.
May 4th
yeah,
during A New Hope.
yeah. And I said, use the Force, honey.
He did. I wanted to
To be f-
literally murder
To
him.
to be fair, that the part with the Death Star literally happened, and like she was giving birth while Luke was in the process of blowing up the Death Star, and Ben Kenobi said, "Use the Force, Luke," and then it happened, and then she was literally pushing, and I was like, "Oh, this would be cute. Use the Force, honey," and she's heads out, heads coming out of her, and
He acted like
she
I was
looked
hearing.
at me like, "You fucking loser."
Well, because like you acted like I was hearing Star Wars. I was in so much pain. Every bone felt like it was breaking. I'm in like the most pain I've ever been in my life. I did not hear a single thing around me. The only thing I was hearing was my midwife and you and my mom and myself. That was it.
I don't know how you didn't hear it, because first of all, the music, and I get it. Well, you were pushing a baby. That's why you didn't hear it. But
You're right.
at the same time, you were pushing it out a baby, in the music, like the Death Star chase, like the Death Star run was blasting. And there was doctors walking all around us. Your mom and I were like standing by each other, like you were, like we were Red 5 or some shit. And it was so chaotic, and it all happened fast, 15 minutes span. But the whole thing, you pushed out Coraline
so
literally
bad.
Right when at the scene when Luke blew up, and you hear the doo, like it was just like, it was so cool. But like, I don't know, I was just
I did not hear a thing.
it was like blasting.
I heard nothing. I didn't even know the TV was on.
It was blasting, and then we were holding Coraline, and the ceremony scene was playing in the background.
I do remember like that because I had her out, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Hi, Liv. You want to say hi? Come here. Come here, Sicky. Oh, you need to work out? Okay.
So, yeah. Well, anyways, I was going to say, since it's a new month, we got new video game of the month. And last month was Astrobot. I knew it was coming. I just
Liv. Astrobot.
So last month we had Astrobot for the first game of the month, and for this month we decided to do Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm so high in this game. I fucking love Resident Evil 4, but the remake is just so peak. And I don't think there's very few games that I could say like feel as good playing it. Like the combat feels good, and like the story is just super fun and addicting to follow, because it just flows very well, and it's like an extraction story. But like, Leon is just he's the best Resident Evil 4 character, the best or not Resident Evil 4, the best Resident Evil character, hands down.
One of the best for sure.
And I'm super in love with him in terms as a character, and just in general, because he's a Pookie Bear. Leon, I have a man crush on Leon. Just
I think everybody has a crush on Leon.
He's a great character, and also the other supporting characters are really good. And that was the one thing with the original. Some of them were kind of weak, but the remake, like they made the supporting characters much more like you appreciate them more. They're not like Ashley was so pathetic in the original one. But like this one, she actually has a character. She's not like a stupid damsel in distress. And then Luis is great, just as great in the last one. And there's much more lore that you get out of the remake versus the original one as well. So like everything is just remade to a T in terms of like the atmosphere, and the pairing system is so good. Like the knife, it just feels so fucking good playing it. I 100% of the game,
Yeah.
and like she watched me, and I had to do like multiple playthroughs, and I've 100% it, and like I wish I can go back till all the way at the beginning because I could just I wish I could play from completely refresh my memory to have that same feeling again because of how good the game feels to play. So no, I know she watched me play multiple times.
Yeah.
And we decided to dedicate this month for Resident Evil 4 remake. So if you haven't, give it a try. It's a total top notch game.
If you're looking for a survival horror game, I definitely think Resident Evil 4 in particular is probably the best you're gonna get.
For survival horror,
well, I consider that game like peak survival horror. Like I wouldn't consider it like a horror game, in my opinion.
There's like different levels of horror games. Like
it's like action survival horror.
I think, yeah, I'd say like action horror.
Yeah, maybe not like survival horror like The Forest or like
survival horror. I think the peak is definitely Silent Hill 2. Like, but at the same time, this is, I mean, it still has survival horror in it, but it's more so, it has like the perfect trifecta of like action, survival horror, and then like, just horror in general.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But, that's why it probably is going to, a lot of people argue that it is the best horror game of all time.
I wouldn't say horror.
Really? I mean, there's all there as and out of all the, because I know action horror and survival horror, I throw them all into one category.
So do I.
I mean, there's different stuff, but they're all horror game, and this is a horror game. You're gonna say Resident Evil 4 isn't a horror game?
It's survival horror, but I think they're very different.
But they're all in the same boat.
They're not.
Yes, they are.
I would not play Outlast and be like, oh, this is the same as Resident Evil because they're so different.
But it's
like
that's
Blair
all kind of
like
that's
they're
kind of
very different. Or PT, like I wouldn't, or Phasmophobia, like they're like those are horror games. Evil Within, horror game.
But that's kind of subjective.
Horror game.
That's subjective to say because Resident Evil in itself is a horror game.
Yeah, but Resident Evil 4 is survival horror.
But it's all under one category. Survival horror, different. Action horror, all under the same one category. Here's survival horror, action horror, they're all under horror.
I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on that.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. There's no way. You can't. You're going to say Resident Evil 4 isn't a horror game.
It's not survival horror.
It's the same thing. Out of anything, out of anything, survival horror is horror.
But it's not just a strictly straight up horror game.
I'm not saying. Okay. Resident Evil is a horror game. Silent Hill is a horror game.
Silent Hill is more of a horror game.
Fatal Frame is a horror game. Obscure is a horror game. I could keep naming these. They're all horror games.
Silent Hill is more of a horror game, in my opinion, than Resident Evil.
But there's different types of horror games that exist.
You're right.
It's all horror, though.
But different.
Well, yeah, no shit.
So I wouldn't consider it. I wouldn't be like, oh, this is a horror game. Like if I'm thinking of a scary game, Resident Evil is not one of the games that I'm like. Or Resident Evil 4 is not one of the ones that I would be like, oh, this is a horror game. Resident Evil 7, I'd be like, horror game.
It is a horror game. It is a horror game.
Resident Evil 4, I would say survival horror.
Resident Evil 4 is definitely a horror game. For you to say that it's not, or
survival horror.
For you to say that, okay.
That's like my thing. Like horror games are my thing.
That's like all that's play. Not even an opinion. That's just wrong. No. That's just wrong.
Agree to disagree.
That's just flat out fucking wrong. Go play Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's one of the greatest horror games ever made.
Survival horror.
Shut the fuck up.
Survival
Anyways.
Horror.
Oblivion. I played 4 hours of it. It's fantastic.
Shout out sick kids.
Yeah, sick fucking kids. But
wait, here we go.
Shout
out sick kids.
If you're listening, if you're Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you missed a really funny bit. But YouTube podcast viewers are going to be eating good.
This is being a parent.
But yeah, so
We're
sick
a
kids.
family
I've
podcast.
only gotten to play Oblivion for so long. And in 2 weeks, the last episode we said there was a potential rumor about Oblivion.
I called it.
But yeah, you did.
I called
it. The rumors about through Reddit were so right about it.
Through your wife, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, shut up! I heard about it through Reddit first. No.
I'm basically.
No,
Reddit.
You were like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna happen," and I was like, I told you what Reddit said, and you were like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna happen," and I was skeptical.
I put that on Reddit.
You were. Oh, shut the fuck up! No, you didn't.
I am Reddit.
No, you didn't. You were not Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're one of the Redditors. You were one of those Redditors.
No, just about Oblivion.
Anyways. I played like 4 to 5 hours of it, and it's great. It's really good, and the rumors were true. It exists. It dropped. It shadow dropped. Which, yes, Courtney, you I was skeptical, and you were full on like.
Say it.
You were right about that.
I was.
I'll say you were right. I was skeptical.
I'm right about a lot
with the
of
rumors, and you were like saying it's going to happen.
Survival horror game.
I'm not. You're just wrong. See, that's where you're wrong. See, I was giving you props with this one.
Come on.
You're just wrong. No. You don't get to run from that. You don't get your cake and eat it.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I got cake upstairs.
Yeah, it's just gonna make your stomach hurt.
Right.
So yeah, anything she eats, her stomach hurts.
It's not awful. I think it's because it was cold. Like I'm just like boogery, and like I think it's just sitting in my belly.
Nasty ass Redditor.
I do be having boogers and stuff.
You do be having boogers. No, I've been playing a lot of it throughout the 5 hours I played it, and one thing I wanted to know.
Take your shirt off your mic. It's gonna make a rubbing noise.
So.
It smells weird down here.
This is the basement.
It smells like pee. It smells like somebody peed down here.
Okay, let's get going with this episode.
Sorry, go.
So, with the Oblivion remake, or the supposed remake that was going around, I said to myself, if it was true, and if it existed, what I was the most curious about is that it was going to have that charm, because it was said that it was going to have an Unreal 5 engine for the game, which is a complete different engine than Bethesda uses. And, it was going to have high updated graphics and, set pieces. And what I was worried about is if it was still going to have that, that Bethesda Elder Scrolls charm.
Mimi.
Yeah, that Mimi charm. And
it does.
Oh, it does. And they doubled down on it. And like that's all I asked for. Everything else, it's great. But like if you don't have that part where like, you hit the dialogue and they zoom in on you, their faces super zoom in.
They walk like this.
Yeah, it has to have that feel, and it does. It feels like an Elder Scrolls game. And it doesn't miss a beat. And it has everything that's supposed to have that, that at least that Oblivion should have, and it feels good to play. It's definitely Oblivion. But they improved the gameplay compared to the original, and I've been having a blast with that. With the time I've been playing it.
I've just been playing Pokemon.
Yeah, you've just been playing Pokemon.
And doing Pokemon battles.
Yeah.
I'm really good at card battles now too.
We've been ripping packs. We're so addicted. It's like a high. It is like worse.
Virtually rip packs.
Yeah. So like if we can't rip packs in person, or what we do is, my crackhead Pokemon wife introduced me to this Pokemon game app where you open packs.
2 packs every 12 hours.
And it's just as fucking. It's like a crack. It's a high.
It's funny because
it's worse.
My friend Joel,
God,
My
don't get into the Pokemon. Don't
my
get
friend
into it.
Joel and I
Do it.
like
Don't do it.
he, oh hi he I send him we send each other all the good cards we rip, and then we're like, yeah, at least we can pull something on this, you know.
It's just I can't pull shit. I can't pull shit through the phone. I can't pull shit in real life.
I've been pulling good stuff on the phone, but like in real life, dog shit. Liv's the only one that pulled a good card the other day.
Yeah, like I was talking with Z about Paladin Fates, and he was
I
like,
just want the bubble mew.
so
bad.
he's done after he got some Paladin Fates, and
Does he have the bubble mew?
no,
Is that what he's
that's literally
chasing?
why he got the some Paladin Fates. He wanted to bolt. He said after the 5 packs that he opens, he's like he's fucking done.
He's just done with the bubble mew.
Yeah, and I for me,
That
like
must be why when we first met him, he was like, "Make sure you record it."
yeah, but we were I'm so used to opening prismatic packs now, and like it's like traumatized me.
We don't get
I don't
anything.
get fucking dick out of prismatic. It sucks.
The best card we got from Prismatic was the promo card that
It's a
you
fucking
get
promo card. Like
that
Jesus.
you know you're gonna get.
Yeah, prismatic. It's traumatic. It's traumatic. Illusions.
It's not prismatic.
No.
It's traumatic.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
Traumatic evolution.
Anyway, speaking of video games, GTA 6 trailer just came out today. I don't know. I don't get her hate for it. I'm telling you right now, GTA 6 is going to go down as one of the greatest games of all time.
You know, it's going to flop for me.
So. It is not going to flop.
For me, it's going to. Trash game. Repetitive.
That's such a bad take.
So repetitive. It's always the same. Take. It's stupid.
I think it is. I think it's going to. I think it's. I'm gonna say it right now. I think it's going to be the #1 most selling video game of all time.
I don't doubt that because a lot of people play it, but that doesn't
like that
make
game
it
is going
any
to
less
kill
bad.
The sales.
I
think
it doesn't make it any less of a bad game.
One thing we are forgetting though is that it did delay another. Well, people say it delayed a year, but honestly, that's not. It's technically wrong. It actually delayed like half a year. The release date came out, but it was supposed to be come out this year in fall of 2025, but they delayed it to May of 2026. Which I don't really. I don't really care. Because I'm fine with it. It's one of those. But there's a lot of people fucking pissed. They're so mad, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for it, but I'm personally more excited for Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater remake, and then of course Death Stranding 2. Like those are the two that I'm the most excited for. So I was fine with or without it, but like for other people, that is like their #1 most.
I feel like for a lot of people, it's probably
and
one of the most anticipated.
I'm fine with it being delayed another year because I know that also of how great the grand scheme of the game is. It's huge. It's going to be a gigantic game. And even after this trailer, we still don't know anything about the gameplay.
Oh, so fun. Let's drive cars and steal things and run from cops and then hit the strip club.
She's so basic.
It's so stupid. Play something good.
We're going to play. See, here's the thing. Mark my words. We are going to play it. Her and I together. We're going to play GTA Online. And she's going to love it. She's going to love it. We're going to have a fun fucking time. I just know it. I know it. You and I are going to have a blast. We're going to be.
I'd rather play.
We're going to be getting cars. We're going to get houses together. It's going to be a thing. I can't wait.
I'd rather play the Lord of the Rings game.
Lord of the Rings game.
The Smeagol game.
Oh, now you're just smoking crack. I mean, I know we were high on opening packs, but Jesus, now you're just smoking crack.
Give me the Smeagol.
I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I think it's going to kill. It's going to kill all the sales, and it's going to be game of the year. I don't care. Whatever comes out that year, that'll be game of the year.
Nothing's going to come out. Just
And I'm even if it were to come out, it's not my number. It wouldn't be my number one most anticipated because I'm a crackhead for Metal Gear Solid and of course Death Stranding, anything
Literally anything
Kojima.
else.
But people are really upset about it. Like they're super pissed
I'd
off.
rather play Anthem.
That's such a bad. See, now that's a really bad take. I don't know how you hate GTA like that.
So bad.
That's just so bad. That's such a bad. I mean, you could not like it, but like
it's just not
saying Anthem is better is just.
I didn't say it was better.
You just said you'd rather play Anthem, so of course you're saying that it's a better game.
No, GTA is a better made game.
Then why would you rather play Anthem?
I don't like GTA. So I'd rather play Anthem. Sense. I just don't like it.
That's so bad. Such a bad take. Anyways, go watch a GTA 6 trailer. It's really good. It's gonna be a fantastic game. Same thing as
it's always been. But
it's gonna be a great game. I can't wait for it. But anyways, what I really want to get to this episode is first off, Courtney has something to talk about. She's probably the trailer that she's super excited about.
You do?
Squid Games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot all about Squid Games.
Yeah,
that trailer that came out today.
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited. I love Squid Games. And when that show first came out, like we were super excited because my family's Korean. So like it was like felt kind of like the first time that one of our like shows or like movies really hit it big here. So it was like, I don't know, like it felt big for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, my people.
It's your shit.
Hell yeah,
it is.
People. So it's like, I was really excited. But yeah, this hot take, I liked season 2 more than season 1.
And I can't believe that's even a hot take. Because, when before season, right when season 2 started, you and I were, people were starting to watch it. And we were, busy with Christmas shit. And then we started watching it and you're like, I'm hearing people aren't liking it. And I started.
No, I mean, they like it, but it's just like this. They don't like that it's more story.
Well, we did see people on Twitter bitch about, saying that it wasn't as good as the first season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. It's not that they don't like it. It's that they like the first season more.
And that's why I can't believe that's even a hot take, because season 2 is so much better than the first. Good. I mean, and season 1 is fucking great.
Season 1's really good. Like they're both
it's great.
So good. I like the second one more because I got like.
We already did the games. We know what's going on.
Yeah, and they made Gi Young like such.
Yeah.
He's like a badass.
He is.
And like I love that.
He's a very good written
He
character.
went from like that like derpy. He was pretty derpy.
Yeah,
like
he was.
Money hungry, like cringe dude, and now he's like badass as hell.
It's great.
He's like a little like, he reminds me of like some kind of like, I mean, he kind of was like a little mob boss, like hiring all these people to go find stuff. Like, he's badass.
He's a testament of what good character development is.
Yes. Although the red hair, like the red hair,
it was very goofy. You could when they gave him the red hair, and then like second season he got instantly taken away. It was definitely, I could definitely see the writers being like, yeah, that ain't gonna fly, and so they took it away.
No, there was like a significance to it. Like there was an actual meaning behind it.
No, there was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was just so like.
Yeah, you know who else I really liked? The Recruiter. Oh my gosh, I love
yeah. Yes.
The bread stomping. Like he was so unhinged.
The characters in the show, they're all very good and very.
And Thanos, like even he better come back.
They're such good. Yeah, Thanos was so good. Like the characters were just so good and are so good in that show. They're
and they
so
never
well
actually
written.
like. They never actually showed him dead. They didn't. There's a possibility.
Honey, he's dead.
No, listen. They brought the casket out in the new trailer.
She's coping really hard.
They brought it out.
Guys, she's coping really hard.
I'm telling you.
She's just coping.
He might be in it.
He's dead. He got forked.
He did get forked.
He got forked.
But maybe they healed the forking.
Honey, this isn't the Avengers. It's not Marvel. It's not Star Wars where people come back from the dead all the time. He got forked.
They didn't actually show him dead.
Right here.
They didn't show him dead.
Honey, he's dead.
We'll see.
He got
We'll see.
unalived, as TikTokers like to say.
Well, you have to say that.
Unalived.
Yeah.
No, I really. That's what I wanted to say is I was really shocked by people saying that the second season wasn't as good as the first, because in my opinion it is, and it's even better.
Well, think about all the trending stuff on TikTok from that season.
I know, but it's not even that. It's just the writing is so much good, and it takes the show in a different direction. Because let's say theoretically, if the second season was the exact same fucking thing as the first season, people would be bitching about that. And you know what? They would be, because why do people bitch about, The Force Awakens? Because it's the same exact thing as New Hope.
Yeah.
It would be bitching. And
I was
bitching
curious
about it.
how they were going to do a second season, and I was like pleasantly surprised.
And they needed a really good reason. And you know what? They had a good reason, but they didn't do what, people were going to be expecting. And they got more in depth. The games were good there. It wasn't super in depth of the games, but the games they did have, they were good. The games were good.
Like the merry-go-round.
Yeah, and yes, so the games they had, they were good, and the intensity was still there. I'm glad
they brought back like the red light, green light.
Yes, the intensity was there, and the games, and that really is the big thing out of the games, is like that of how intense games are, in that show. But the thing is baby, hi honey. No, I loved how the intensity was there, and it worked. But really the best part of that show was the characters. The characters in that show were so good, and that's what I liked about the first one, but it's really what I loved about the second one, because the characters were all fucking good. Batman fell. What the hell is Liv doing upstairs? I don't know what she's doing.
I don't know either. What is she doing up there?
But no, I'm really excited for season 2. It's next month. One thing I want to talk about was a pretty big film that started filming last week, and it started filming. More specifically on National Superhero Day, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
It started filming on Monday last week, and it comes out exactly May 1st next year. So when you look at it, it's it's a pretty fucking ambitious film. Hi, honey. Hi.
I have my concerns.
Yeah.
Should we just jump right into concerns?
No, yeah, give us your concerns. I had hopes and concerns about it. What are your concerns? Give them out of the way.
My hopes first.
No, do your concerns.
My concerns. I think a year to shoot such a big film is just.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be enough time.
It's my biggest concern of the film as well.
That's my biggest one.
It's my biggest, and not only that, it's my biggest concern for sure, because it is such a grand scheme. It is such a big film. You can't. Give me that. It is definitely my biggest concern, without a doubt. Oh no! All right, you gotta do something with her, because I can't. It is definitely my biggest concern out of the entire thing, because of how big the film is, in how many actors are in it because you can't touch $50 Spider-Man. Now, but here's why I have confidence in it. It's because it's directed by the Russo Bros, and
Yeah.
sure, they haven't necessarily had the best films after Endgame, but I know with Avengers and those IP characters, I have all the confidence in the world. I know she's just gonna, honey. She's gonna.
She's okay.
If she does the one more thing, you got to put her back in.
If you want to film this, she's gonna have to just hang out.
So, I have confidence that if there's anybody or that I believe could do it, it'd be them, and that's why I have confidence. But my thing is that one thing that made it work with their previous Avengers films is because you got to think of the lead up to it. Like there was a correlation lead up. Every film you knew was leading to the
next one.
Narratively, you just knew it all kind of it just flowed. With the Doctor Strange and then the Captain America films, the Iron Man films, they all had purpose. And there's been so many. The problem with that people have with the MCU right now is that the MCU films post Endgame don't really. Well, not just there's been good ones. Like No Way Home's was really good. Shang-Chi was really good.
Okay, that's fair. But I would say the majority of them have been.
You're right,
misses.
but even the good. What my thing is, even the good films, you don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Like you don't know where they're going. You don't know the lead up, and then they had. They were going to do the Kang Dynasty, but then they scrapped it and they decided to do Doomsday. So it just felt like a jumbled mess. This, post Endgame, and you don't know where the fuck they're going with it. Now, and then on top of it, of the amount of actors that are in Doomsday is just insane. Like you saw she's going to town. She tried fitting Kilo in the bottle.
Yeah.
One thing
blocked off on my side, so.
One thing that what also has me concerned, even though it's the Russo Bros, is because of the sheer amount of actors that are in the movie. Because
it's a very big film.
Not only does it have a lot of actors in the previous films, but we're seeing X-Men characters. Never seeing
You might want to hold it. I'm holding my Harry Potter Lego.
We're seeing X-Men characters, and I'm not only that, but like characters like Nightcrawler and that we haven't seen since the 2000s, and
there's gonna be CGI.
Yeah, and like there hasn't been, we're gonna see characters we haven't seen since the 2000s, and we're gonna be like, why the fuck is he there? So they have a lot.
Has to make sense.
They have a lot on their hands with this film, and they only have so much time, and so it's this.
Not that one, baby.
It's this thing where it's like, are they going to stick the landing? And it's just if it's ever been, a very tedious task to do with the previous Avengers films, this is even, Avengers Endgame was huge.
Yeah.
But I think of Avengers Endgame, they had the finish line right there. This one, it's almost like trying to find that needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
You're not only are you trying to land the plane. She might have fell on that. Not only are you trying to land a plane, but you're trying to land the plane on a little tiny platform with fire around you, and just you're running out of gas in the tank. It's just they don't really have, they have a lot going for themselves with this film, and so in that release date. And the start of the film date.
I do have one more concern.
What's up?
What Dr. Doom is going to look like.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are speculating about.
I did see the pictures of them at the Thunderbolts, and he looks pretty good. He looks
pretty crazy.
And that's what I want. I don't want him to look like, a guy from Zoolander, because that's he's giving those vibes. So
Victor Von Doom, like he's supposed to have a fucked up, face after he gets, after he gets his powers, of course. But like before that, he's like the rich kind of goody two shoe, the rich kind of better than you kind of character. But then after that, he starts,
But they showed that leaked picture of him in his Doom.
That's how I want him to look.
I want him to look crazy.
Yeah, I want him to look unhinged.
To look like,
I want him to look unhinged.
Somebody who owns a compound.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree.
I'm hopeful for it though. So.
Like I said, if it weren't the Russo bros, I'd be concerned. I'd be very concerned because the Russo bros have done this, and there's levels to this, and I don't think any regular director would be able to pull some shit. No, not Snake. You can't have Snake. Not Snake. She's yelling at me.
She's like, "Give me Snake."
Yeah. She's like, "Give me your $50 Spider-Man or give me Snake." And I'm not doing either. Or my remote. This is how it's like having kids and you're a nerd. You just want to play with your action figures and
your Lego sets.
Or your Lego sets or your,
She doesn't want Rysam though.
I know, she doesn't. Oh. There goes. Yeah, there goes our entire display that we've worked oh so hard for.
She's happy now. She's Dobby.
This is how it's going to be in certain episodes. They're just going to, our girls are just going to kind of take over at times, and we just got to ride through it.
And they're sick, so.
You guys got to ride through it with us this month.
We got to give them a little love.
So please help. So please.
A little extra love.
Please ride with us throughout this month. It's just tough, being a nerd and a parent at the same time. It's
not easy.
It's not easy.
I think that's our cue.
I think it's our cue. The thug life. I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose us.
And that's my cue.
Anyways, I'm placing the other Spider-Man right there.
Yep. Say bye-bye. Come here. Ready? And say, I'm Coraline. And I'm Courtney.
And I'm AJ.
And this is a Saw Pod. Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say Resident Evil's a horror game.
No, GTA sucks.
You're going to get them all riled up with that one.
I don't care.
All right, have a good one.